10 seconds left. 5 seconds left. Begin. Honorable Speaker, sir, I am honored to say a few words on the supplementary demands for grants for this year presented by the Honorable Finance Minister on the floor of the House. We have all gathered here at a time when our economy continues to fight the effects of the pandemic. As a matter of fact, I would like to state that our difficulties started right from demonetization. On this occasion, I would also like to state that we do support the great efforts of those employed in our health care system. It is a matter of satisfaction that the health workers, nurses, and doctors risked their lives to save the people. As a result of this, we were able to bring the situation under control as soon as possible. At the same time, I have to say that we have been facing one crisis after another in the past few years. On the one hand, the economy is in bad shape due to the pandemic. It is well known that important sectors like tourism have been affected all over the country. As we have stated during the budget debate, the government has, in our opinion, given us unrealistic targets. On the other hand, I would like to state that the allocations to crucial sectors has come down in the last few years. The very fact that the finance minister has come back with such large supplementary demands is a proof of this. The additional expenditure is roughly around rupees 2 lakh crores. It is a matter of great concern that more than 80% of this is limited to 5 major items. In the light of the above, let me assure the House that honorable members in the opposition understand the need for critical spending as a result of the pandemic. At the same time, the government must stop presenting to this House targets which are unrealistic. As members of this House, it is therefore necessary for us to request the government to provide much more realistic figures to the country. I had the privilege of pointing out here during the budget that the macroeconomic figures presented by the Honorable Minister raised several doubts in the minds of the Honorable members. I am afraid the supplementary demands merely confirm my suspicion raised in the House. In my opinion, these grants indicate a gross miscalculation on the part of the government on the expected expenditure. As a matter of fact, it undermines the control of Parliament over the budget process by going much above what had been already sanctioned by the House. In my opinion, the government will not be able to maintain the budget deficit as promised on the floor of the House. Honorable Speaker, sir, I would also like to bring to the kind attention of the House the fact that the debt burden of the centre and states has increased to 90% in the last 2 years. This is about twice the limit that has been recommended by the review committee. At the same time, the gap between revenue and expenditure is likely to grow further in the years to come. On this occasion, it has to be borne in mind that we have not been able to meet our disinvestment target in the last 2 years. In addition to this, we have to take into account the estimated revenue loss due to the recent reduction in taxes on fuel. Next, I would like to touch upon the scheme of rural employment. There is no clarity from the union government as to when the funds will be released to the states. Even with this new funds announced today, the total expenditure under this scheme will be much below the estimates. As far as our country is concerned, rural poverty has risen to 30%. In the light of the above, I expected that the Honorable Finance Minister would seek more funds for the rural employment scheme in the supplementary grants. I would like to bring to the attention of the House that in many states, the workers have not been given salaries. As a matter of fact, in my constituency, wages are due for the past 7 months. In addition, I would like to state that India has many coastal states. As a matter of necessity, the fisheries sector needs to be given additional funds in the supplementary estimates. In the same manner, the tourism sector needs your attention. Mr. Speaker, I would now turn to the railways. On this occasion, I support the government for coming up with the National Rail Plan for the next 10 years. However, it appears that the government have grossly underestimated the funding required. Similarly, the Auditor General in his report has pointed out that there is need for realistic estimation as far as railways are concerned. As a matter of fact, despite getting additional funds, the final expenditure was well below the original budget estimates. It is well known that the supplementary demands for grants are for the economic development of our country. It is therefore necessary that the honorable members should not stand in the way of giving additional funds to government. At the same time, we have to point out here that the government should make proper estimates before coming to the House. With these words, I conclude my speech. Thank you.